Hey guys, welcome back to BMW Blog YouTube channel, and once again, welcome back to Germany. I'm in Bavaria today. Might have seen my previous video with the M340i, but right now it's time to take a look at the all-new 2022-23 BMW 3 Series Touring Facelift. All right, so this is the 3 Series Touring Facelift. Let me give you a quick walk around and show you some of the design features that have changed with the facelifted model. Starting at the front, you can see right here, it comes with the M Sport package. So all the 3 Series facelift models come either in a base spec or with the standard M Sport package. Design-wise, you can see right here the same kidney grille as before. The only change here, it gets double slats right there. The outer edge of the kidney grille, it's a little bit thicker than before, but size-wise stays the same. Because of the bumper redesign, and you can see that right here, it's got a narrower gap in between the kidney and the bumper. So because of that, the car, it's about 4 millimeters longer, and it's also got a more of a shark nose, and you can see that from this angle. Another major redesign at the front comes around the headlights. You can see they're a little bit slimmer. The inner graphics, they're inverted right now, so an L shape inverted. And because it's got the adaptive headlights, it also comes with the blue accents inside. There is no more optional laser light. Hexagonal air intake with a honeycomb design. That's new as well. You get some functional air vents right there for airflow and aerodynamics. It also gives the car a wider look at the front. So those are the quick changes on the 3 Series Touring Facelift at the front. Side view, because of the M Sport package, it comes with M Sport brakes. You can see two-tone wheels, blue calipers. It also has the extended shadow line, so because of that you are getting that black trim all around and blacked out accents. And you can see the 3 Series Touring shape right here. It is one of the best looking BMWs today. Going to the back, the only major change right here comes in the form of a redesigned bumper. So you can see it's a little bit different, and of course the diffuser has changed as well. Dual pipes, slightly bigger than on the pre-facelift model, so that's another minor change. And this is the BMW 320d, so it's a 4-cylinder diesel, 2.0 liter, makes about 187 horsepower and 400 newton meters of torque. It also comes with an 8-speed automatic and a 48-volt mild hybrid setup. Let's open the trunk. Typical cargo space in a BMW 3 Series Touring, so quite spacious. As you can see, I have a carry-on here and also a very large backpack, and there's still plenty of room. If you need additional room, you can always lower the back seat and you will get tons of cargo room. Now let's take a look inside, because this is where some of the major changes took place. Just like the M340i and all the other 3 Series models, you will notice immediately the large curved display similar to the i4, X7 and plenty of other new BMWs. There are actually 2 screens connected together, 12.5 and 14.9, powered by iDrive 8. And because of that, you are losing the physical buttons in the center console. You can see they are gone. So now the functions for AC are integrated in iDrive 8. Not ideal, but I guess it works. Slimmer vents right there because there are no additional buttons there, so that's a minor change. And then of course the beefy gear shifter, it's gone, so now you're getting this little toggle right here. Rocker shifter, I'm not sure what's the official name. And because of that, you are getting standard shift paddles on the car, because you're not able to shift through the gear shifter. This particular one has a combination of leather and Alcantara. So you can see perforated Alcantara, which is nice. with blue stitching, looks beautiful. M Sport steering because of the M Sport package. And let's take a look at the back seat. You can see it's quite spacious. Let me go in here. So 6'2", about 1.9 meters tall, and as you can see, there is plenty of space. I adjusted the front seat for my driving position, so this is the really the standard setup right now. And as you can see, I have plenty of knee room, plenty of headroom as well. There are at least 5 inches here, so quite spacious. It is easily a car for 3 people in the back, and it will make for a very fun road companion. So again, you can see the new layout, dashboard layout from here, the large curved display. All right, so once again, this is the BMW 3 Series Touring, more exactly the 320d facelift. It is available in Europe. It is not available in the US, unfortunately. And of course, BMW offers a wide range of touring models, from an M340i to an M340d and much more. All right, so I am behind the wheel of the BMW 320d Touring facelift, a model extremely important for the German market. And mostly because 85% of the 3 Series models sold in Germany, they're actually Tourings. If you look at the global ratio, it's about 20% Touring and 80% sedan. So naturally, the Touring model, it's an extremely important one for the BMW brand. This particular one, it's a 320d, so it is powered by a 2.0-liter 4-cylinder diesel, and it makes 187 horsepower and 400 newton meters of torque. So even though the power output might seem underrated compared to, let's say, the M340i or the M340d, the 6-cylinder power plants, in a car of this size, usually 187 horsepower, it's plenty. So I'm gonna have a chance right now to drive on some of the curvy roads and see what the car can do. Even though the 3 Series Touring was never meant to be a track weapon or even a track weekend car, but nonetheless, it's a BMW, so you have to push it a little bit to see what it can do. Speaking of the engine and the power, this one comes with a 48-volt mild hybrid, so it gets an additional boost from that little battery that's integrated inside the 8-speed automatic from ZF. Very smooth to shift, very precise, so no changes there. It just kind of feels the same as all the other ZF transmissions that I've tested in the last few years. Of course, it's a Touring, so this car will be mostly used by families or people that love to have a lot of interior and cargo space. It is meant for outdoor activities, it is meant for road trips, and that's exactly what I'm trying to really test here today. All right, so I'm on a stretch of road where I'm gonna have a chance to push the car a little bit. Some nice curvy roads here in Bavaria, and of course, you know, my first impressions, it is not as sharp as the M340i, and it couldn't be. I mean, this one has 187 horsepower compared to 370. It's a 4-cylinder versus a 6-cylinder, so completely different characters. And naturally, this car, it's not meant to be a track weapon. It is really meant to be a road trip companion, a car that you use as a utility car, and of course, a family car. But nonetheless, if you want to have some fun, you can. And you can see that I'm flooring the car. It takes a little bit of time for the power to build up to reach that ideal RPM. But once it does, you know, the torque kicks in. It's got a pretty nice power delivery, quite smooth. It corners quite nicely, actually. Of course, a little bit more body roll than you would find in the sedan. So you can see right here, once it gets going, it just pulls quite hard, actually. So in many situations, I don't think you need a lot more power than this one. But of course, if you do, you can always go for the M340d with its fantastic 6-cylinder diesel. Compared to the sedan, also the steering seems to be a little bit more numb, and of course because the car it's a little bit heavier, so it's not as sharp. The suspension it's also a little bit different. I can feel that it's maybe set up to be a little bit softer than in the M340i, and of course that's by design. Somebody that buys this car doesn't want to have a very rough suspension setup, and of course if you want to go even softer, you can simply just flip to comfort, and now you're just getting this serene and calm ride, which is ideal for a lot of the daily driving situations. Being a 4-cylinder, it's not gonna give you that nice exhaust sound that you will be getting from a 6-cylinder. And of course there is a little bit of active sound or fake sound being pumped into the cabin, but overall it's a pretty quiet cabin. It is really nicely isolated from the outside world. There is not a lot of road noise coming in. I believe I'm running right now on performance tires, and I believe those are 18-inch. M Sport brakes, fantastic. I mean, I can apply that brake power immediately. If you do have the option to get the M Sport package, I always recommend it, not only because of the visual improvements, but also because you're getting some additional things like beefier steering, you're getting some M Sport brakes, M wheels, and a lot more. I'm not gonna have a chance today to test the fuel consumption. I only have the car for about an hour and a half, over about 90 kilometers. But nonetheless, I will take a look at the computer readout to see what the final fuel consumption was. Let me switch back to sport. So I can hear the engine ramping up a little bit. The suspension has stiffened up. The steering is also a little bit more responsive. So you're getting a lot more sportiness out of this car. A nice stretch of road here, so I can really push it. Like I said, once it starts to build up that power and reaches that ideal RPM, then the car just wants to deliver, so that's fantastic. And this proves once again that BMW knows how to build touring models. 5 Series Touring, 3 Series Touring, they're definitely some of their most popular models ever made. And it comes as no surprise that they actually sell about 85% of the 3 Series in Germany in a touring variant. Fortunately, the 3 Series Touring hasn't really found at home in the US. We did get the previous generation F31, but unfortunately that was the last time that we got a touring in the US, and I don't think we're gonna get one for quite some time. Hopefully when everything switches over to electric, BMW will decide to bring that to the US. So for now, we just have to come to Europe and sample some of those great Tourings. Ideally, we will come back and try the M3 Touring, because from what I hear, that car is a riot to drive. But once again, back to the 3 Series Touring. It is exactly what I expected. There is no major change compared to the pre-facelift model. So basically the character of the car has stayed. If you're looking for a good price value proposition, then I would say that the 320D Touring, it's a great choice. You can also go for a 318i, or if you're feeling more adventurous, you can always go for the M340D, which I've had a chance to drive last year, and it is fantastic to drive. As far as the changes inside, I do have to say that it's a little bit annoying that the physical buttons have been removed. It takes at least 2-3 touches now to adjust the AC system, so not ideal. It was always nice to have it right here, and especially with the buttons that you could actually program to perform certain functions, they were quite useful. So it's gonna take some time to get used to that. Of course, you can also use voice commands to perform certain functions, or you can use the iDrive controller or touch screen. So there are plenty of other inputs to use, but as always, it's nice to have pre-assigned physical buttons for certain functions, and I would say the climate control is probably one of the main functions in the car, if not the most important one. I guess the idea, from what I've understood, was that they wanted to kind of simplify the interior design to make it look more minimalistic, less cluttered, and that's why they went with the removal of those buttons. That's why you're also missing the gear shifter here. It was always a nice thing to have, especially when you wanted to just flip it over to sport and kind of, shifting your own gear in automatic. But right now you can only do that via the shift pedals, which are standard in all the BMW. Here I am again on another stretch of road with some really nice curvy roads. Pushing the car a little bit more. Decent feedback from the road. Not as sharp and not as much feedback as you get in the M3 40i, but nonetheless still good enough for some spirited driving. As I mentioned earlier, a little bit more body roll, but I do enjoy the side support from the seats. If there is one thing that BMW knows how to do are usually the M Sport seats, so I definitely recommend them in all of your BMWs if you do have the option. So other than that, it's a very premium interior, exactly what you expect from a car in this segment. It is comparable to similar products from Mercedes or Audi. And once again, the final choice will come down to your own preference. Of course, a lot of customers buy a BMW for the driving experience, while others go for the more flashier interior you will find in an Audi or Mercedes. But as an overall product, the 3 Series Touring, it is a solid offering from BMW. It's a car that will definitely live with a new generation, and from what I understood, from some of our sources, there will be a combination of plug-in hybrids and gasoline 3 Series Tourings on the next generation, and there will also be a brand new product that will be all-electric Touring. But of course, that's not confirmed, and if we will see those particular models, it's gonna be past 2026. My drive will come to an end very soon, but stay tuned because we have a lot more cool videos coming up. I'm gonna be driving the X1, the iX1 all-electric, and then a little bit towards the end of the month, I'm gonna be able to show you the BMW XM. And then in October, I'm gonna be showing you the BMW M2. I had a chance to film that car, so I'm extremely excited to show you what I've managed to do with the M2. As always, please subscribe to our channel. Please hit that notification bell to be notified immediately when we post a video, because we've been posting quite a bit lately. We're trying to reach 100,000 subscribers on the channel, because that's gonna help us grow even faster and provide even more videos to you. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.